Hello, Keith Rucker here at VintageMachinery.org. Guys, today putting together a little odds and ends video for you guys. I got stuff stacking up again over here. Seems like it always is. And I want to go through things. I always like to share stuff that people send into the shop, maybe some new purchases and so forth like that. Things I think you guys will find interesting. Before we get into doing some of this though, I do want to mention an event that is coming up here very soon. I want to make people aware of in case anybody wants to try to make it to. So each year for, I don't know, this is 17, 18 years now, maybe longer, I don't remember exactly. We've been holding the annual ArnFest event, which is held up in the northern Illinois area. ArnFest is a play on words, A-R-N, kind of means iron, but it's a bunch of guys who like all kinds of vintage machinery. It's really more focused over on the old woodworking machines discussion forum, but there's the guys that come to this thing that just like all kinds of vintage machinery, whether it be woodworking machinery, metalworking machinery, or you name it. I always enjoy going to it, see a lot of friends there every year. They have a really nice swap meet on Saturday where people can bring stuff to buy and sell. So always a lot of fun, and something I look forward to every single year. This year's ArnFest event will be held September 29th through October 2nd, 2022, for those that may be watching this video in the future. And it will be held once again at the Illinois Railway Museum right outside of Union, Illinois, which is west of Chicago. Maybe kind of on the edge of the suburbs of Chicago area, I guess you could say. We kind of use Crystal Lake, Illinois. That's where most people stay at the Holiday Inn there, and we actually have a banquet and stuff on Saturday evening at that Holiday Inn there in Crystal Lake. They do auction, silent auction. They do raffle and some other things, just kind of celebrating things from the event. So if you have any interest in coming to that, what I recommend you do is go to the website, the ArnFest website. You need to register ahead of time for that event, and that address, website address is arnfest.com. Again, ARNFEST.com. So go visit there if you want to register and come to it. Just going to the Illinois Railway Museum is a treat in itself. And I always enjoy getting some time to walk around and look at all the stuff. You guys know I'm a old train guy, you know, one of those foamers, I guess you could say, and I enjoy that as much as anything else going to this event each year. So hopefully some of you guys will come out. Hope to see some viewers that show up there. If you're in the area or up for a road trip, it's a fun event. The main happenings happen on Friday and Saturday. It's really a 4-day event. Starts on Thursday afternoon, goes through Sunday, probably around lunchtime. But the Friday and Saturday, which will be the 30th, September 30th and October 1st, that's kind of the main event days, and the swap meet will be held on that Saturday morning. So hope to see you guys. Some of you guys show up out there at ArnFest this year. Looking forward to it. Let's get into some of the new stuff that showed up here in the shop, and we'll get this odds and ends kicked off. So up first, recently picked up this drill grinder. This is called the Champ, and I'm really not super familiar with it, but it looked interesting, and I had an opportunity to pick it up. So let me tell you a little bit of story on this one. My friend Andrew Alexander out in Dallas, Texas, actually is kind of responsible for this one. He purchased a bunch of tools and equipment from a gentleman up in the Atlanta area some time back, and he asked me if I could go by and pick it up for him. I said, sure, I can. And as it turned out, I was out in Dallas this summer for a meeting. My wife and I drove out, so we carried a bunch of stuff out there with us that we had picked up. And this was one of the items that he had gotten in that deal. And when I got up there, I asked him about it, and I ended up getting it from Andrew. So anyway, I brought this back home with me. So I hauled it to Texas, and I hauled it back home because I just think it's a neat little setup here, and I have not used it yet. I have not hooked it up and tried it out yet. I'm gonna probably try to do some videos on this at some point in time when I get a chance to play around with it. It comes with a bunch of little jigs and fixtures and stuff over here that you mount to this setup, and it allows you to come in and drill or grind drill bits. So again, I'm kind of anxious to try it out. Just haven't had a chance yet. But you guys will probably be seeing a video on this coming up. I need to get the manual. I know Andrew actually got the manual, but I forgot to get it from him. And anyway, he's got to send it to me. I'm sure I can probably find one online as well. Anyway, looking forward to trying this out and seeing how this thing works. It looks like a nice little setup. So we're going to give her a try. So anyway, thank you, Andrew Alexander, for making this deal possible for me, and enjoyed visiting the gentleman up in Atlanta. I'm not going to mention his name because I don't know that he wants me to, but I had a good time visiting with him as well. And he had a shop full of stuff that he was selling some stuff out of, and anyway, some really nice stuff. And Andrew picked up a good bit of that from him that I was able to pick up for him. So there you go. Looking forward to trying this out. A couple of weeks ago, I visited with my friend Jim Bollinger, who goes by Do Right Fabrication on YouTube. And while I was there, he sent me home with a bunch of these Petromatic grease cups. These are something that he picked up somewhere along the line. I thought I might have a need for them somewhere, but these are kind of cool. You can put these into a grease fitting. There's a little grease zerk on the front right here. You pump this thing up with grease. It fills up this cup, and there's a spring in there, and it's putting constant pressure on there, so it's constantly lubricating or keeping pressure on that grease all the time. So in some applications, there's a red spring. These blue springs are a little bit heavier for if you need a little bit faster or more pressure on the grease. You can change them out. But anyway, there's a box here with a bunch of them in them. Had a little brochure inside. But this is the kind of stuff that you're going to need it somewhere along the way on some machine restoration you're working on. So it's nice to have these laying around to use in those applications. So Jim, thank you for this. I put them up over there with my oil cups and grease cups and all that. And like I said, it's just one of those things that they'll get used somewhere along the way. And I thank you much for it and appreciate you for thinking of me and sending them my way. Up next comes an item that was sent to me by Jeff Wallace up in Spokane, Washington. And Jeff said he actually, if I remember the story right, I'm going off memory, I may not have this exactly right, but I think what he told me was that he had made a mistake and ordered the wrong part. And when he got it, realized he made a mistake and didn't want to send it back, so he just sent it to me. And I've got in this box is a big number 5 Morse taper live center. I think this is from Shars, import, but good quality stuff. Shars has, in my opinion, pretty good quality import stuff from and very nice tools. So we'll probably see it being used around here somewhere along the way. When I get my big lathe going, this very well might be something we can use with it, or will be something we can use with it. So I'm going to put it up and have it when we need it. And along the same vein here, another item. This is actually from another viewer. This is from John Collings down in Florida. And John sent me this, I think this is a number 6 Morse taper. This is a dead center, so this is something you would use like up in the headstock of your lathe to turn between centers. And again, I don't remember the exact story. I think he told me he ordered this for a lathe and it was the wrong size again. I may be making this up, or I may not be remembering right, but anyway, this thing is in really looks like unused condition. This one just says Poland on it. It was made in Poland, and in my experience, Polish made stuff is usually pretty darn good quality. So and this looks like it has never even been used, or if it hasn't been used, it's been lightly used. So we'll add it over there into my drawer with this kind of stuff. I don't know if I've got anything that takes a number 6 Morse taper in the headstock, but it's one of those things, guys, when this stuff comes available, you just pick it up, because you may not need it today, but there's a good chance you're going to need it down the road. So anyway, John, thank you for sending that along, and hopefully we can find a good use for it and put it to work here one of these days. Next item here, I got a envelope in the mail, and this is one that it's kind of a repeat thing, but this comes from Scott Volage down in Florida. And Scott makes beef jerky sausages and all kinds of stuff like that. And he has sent me some care packages in the past with beef jerky in it. Really good stuff. I actually got to meet Scott down at the Florida Flywheelers last year, and he actually gave me some of his sausage that he made, which was outstanding. And I actually shared some with my friend Jim Bollinger, who we talked about a while ago, who is a firefighter down in the Orlando area. He took some of it to the fire station, and he said the guys were just fighting him over that stuff, trying to get it from him. He says, if you give me any more of that stuff, I ain't taking it to the firehouse. I'm keeping it for myself. It was really good, Scott. Funny story, it's probably been a month or two ago. I came home one day, and there was a little package like this sitting under the garage that had been torn into and was empty. And I was actually out of town. My wife said, there was a package under the garage, and it was just like torn into, like animals had gotten into it. I said, well, who was it from? She said, Scott Volage. And I said, yeah. I said, the animal was Elliott, our dog. And I told her what was in it. He sniffed it out, and let's just say he ate the whole package. And I didn't get any of that. So Scott was actually kind enough to send some more along. And I thought we would open this up and give it a try. You guys are going to have to take my word on this. Let's see what we got here. Good stuff. Elliott, come here. You remember this stuff, Elliott? You remember it? You want some more? Can you sit? Can you sit? Be a good boy, sit. Sit. Come on, sit. He's got arthritis. He doesn't like to get down. I'm not going to make him do it. He's getting to be an old dog. You remember that? You only get one piece this time. I'm being good sharing with you. You didn't share with me. Next item comes from Kevin Stollard up in Virginia. He has sent stuff down before. He picked up a bevel gear involute cutter. Said he's probably never going to cut a bevel gear. Thought he would send it along to me to put to my collection. This is a 4-pitch #1 cutter for cutting bevel gears. The bevel gear cutters are a little bit narrower than a regular involute cutter because you have to cut them twice at a little bit different offset angle. Because it's not really a straight cut down. It kind of goes in at 2 different angles. We've made some bevel gears in the past. So anyway, I will add this over to the collection. Again, a number 4-pitch, #1 bevel gear cutter. So up next here, got some tools I got back from my buddy Mark Ratowski up in Crystal Lake, Illinois. Right where we have ArnFest. In fact, I've met Mark up there several times at the ArnFest event because I'm right there in his backyard. But Mark at MR Tool Repair has a business where he works on and fixes up metrology tooling of all kind. I mean, this is what he does for a living. He works for another company, although he has a sideline business that he does it on his own. And I think he told me he's 2nd generation. His dad did this too. But he does an absolutely outstanding job. You can send him, any kind of old tools like this that have issues. And, he can't fix everything, but most things that I have sent him, he has been able to work on and fix. And I had several tools that were messed up or whatever. Some of these actually came from a lot of tools that I had that I got from Lockheed. There were just some stuff in there that I didn't want to sell it because it didn't work. It was out of condition, and he worked wonders with it. And I wish I'd have had before and after pictures. You guys would be amazed at the difference. But all this stuff has been gone through. Anything that was broken was fixed. Put new crystals in here. In some cases, put new dials in the background. He does all that work and does a really, really fine job of it. So all these tools here, these are ones I'm keeping. I'm gonna put in my collection. But anyway, Mark, thank you for your work. I pay him to do this. He doesn't do it for free, guys, but it's very reasonable, especially compared to buying new tools or even buying used tools. It's often cheaper to have them fixed than it would be to replace it with like buying a new one off of eBay or something like that. So if you got anything that needs work on, getting hold of him here, there's his contact information on the card. His email address, mrtool2010@hotmail.com, is a really good way to get up with him. You can send him pictures of what you got, tell him what you got, and he's usually pretty good. He can give you an estimate looking at it, but of course, until he gets into it and see exactly what's involved, you know, he may have to get back to you depending on the extent of the work that needs to be done, but always been very reasonably priced and does an outstanding job. Thank you, Mark. We'll put these tools in put them up. So up next comes from catalogs and books that were sent in by Mike Powell up in Ohio. And these are pretty cool. So Freeman Supply Company. Freeman is actually still in business. They do pattern making supplies, foundry stuff. And this is a rather old catalog from them, 1949. And has got all kinds of stuff in here related to foundry and pattern making. It's pretty cool. I just enjoy looking at this kind of stuff, seeing what was out there back in the day that you could order. And like I said, Freeman is actually still in business and still has a lot of this kind of stuff that they still sell today. And I've actually ordered stuff from them in the past. So, you know, most of your patterns were made out of wood, so a lot of woodworking supplies in here, but a lot of it is specific for pattern making. So next one is Federal Foundry Supply Company. This is catalog number 400. Let's see what it says. See, there's a date on this one. There's the president, Mr. Ralph Diddy. Looks like a dapper guy. Well, I don't see a date on the catalog, but let's see what they got in here. Looks like they got all kinds of, there's sand for foundry work, talc for putting on your patterns, all kinds of stuff. Shake bags. Here's stuff for putting on latches and stuff on your flask, all kinds of flasks. There's some sieves for sieving your sand, clamps over here. There's a heavy duty cart, all kinds of stuff. So anyway, pretty cool stuff. Respirators, safety glasses, you name it, it's in here. Anyway, pretty cool stuff. My buddy Clark over at Windy Hill Foundry would probably want to take a look at this and see what all he needs to order or wishes he had for his foundry. There's some mullers, looks like. So cool stuff. I'll enjoy looking through that one too. And the last one is Strong, Carlisle and Hammond, Cleveland Industrial Supplies. And this is just kind of, you know, this is 1958. These guys had, this is about like a McMaster car type catalog. Just everything under the sun for industrial supplies. You name it, they had it. And again, I just enjoy looking at this stuff. So much of this stuff you really can't get anymore. It's just, nobody makes it. So really cool. Wish I was back in the day, can still order some of that. Anyway, thank you very much. I always enjoy having this kind of stuff to look through. Well, there you go, guys. Another Odds and Ends episode in the books. Hope you enjoyed that. Saw some cool things. I get a lot of feedback. Some people like these videos, some people don't. But I get enough people telling me they enjoy seeing them, so I'm going to keep doing them. And again, thank you to everybody that sent stuff in. As always, it's amazing the super nice gifts people have sent me over the years. Really, really appreciate that. You know, you don't have to do it, but it's always a kind gesture when folks are, you know, think enough to do something like that. Just it means a lot to me personally. Again, you don't have to do that, guys, but I really do appreciate those that do. And with that, that will be a wrap on this one. Hope to see some of you guys at ArnFest here in a couple of weeks. And with that, it's going to be a wrap. As always, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Those thumbs up and comments, greatly appreciated. Hit the bell icon up there to get notifications when new videos are posted. Subscribe if you haven't already. And with that, guys, we will catch you on the next video. Again, thanks for watching.